What is up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast. Today, me and Nathan are going to go over the tattoos that we regret doing as tattoo artists. Nathan, just give us a little background on you and what your expertise is as a tattoo artist.
Hey man, thanks for having me on. So I started tattooing when I was 20 years old back in Australia, and mostly do like a lot of neo-traditional, new school type stuff. And I've definitely done a few tattoos on myself. Mainly, I'm kind of lucky though. They're all on my legs, and they're all in like one spot. So I feel like I definitely haven't suffered as much as a lot of other artists have when it comes to, the rite of passage of tattooing yourself.
Well, awesome to have you on. I know that we've been tattooing about the same time in this industry, so we've seen a lot of different artists come into tattooing and a lot of terrible tattoos when you're first starting out. Let's talk about some of the first tattoos we did on ourselves and how we feel about them today.
Yeah, all right. So, man, when I first started tattooing, I didn't have any tattoos. I was a clean skin. And I thought, that I'd actually no one would take me seriously. And I think that kind of did happen at the start because, no one really trusts a tattoo without any tattoos. Yeah, the first tattoo that I did was on myself. Actually, that was a lie. The second tattoo I did was on myself. The first tattoo I did, that's a story for another time. It's a little skull, like you can see it. It's a tiny as. It's just this little skull and a paintbrush. And it's supposed to be like a beret on its head, but it looks like a dick. So that's what I'm walking around with.
I wouldn't say a sloth. I wouldn't say a dick.
Well, we can always fix it up. We can enhance it.
And man, you're lucky that you didn't go all out just thinking that you were, awesome and you could tattoo your own arm. So you're doing better on that.
Who heard you?
All right.
Yeah. What the fuck was going through your head when you thought, man, I'm going to tattoo my own arm?
Absolutely nothing. I was young, getting into the tattoo industry. I was like, man, if I'm going to do this, I got to look the part. I got to look like that guy. It doesn't matter if it looks good. I just, most tattoo artists' tattoos aren't good. So I was like, it doesn't matter. As long as there's stuff there that that'll definitely make me a better tattoo artist looking like a tattoo artist.
You wanted the coverage.
Yeah. So, I started tattooing on my first tattoo I did. Let me think. There's so many. First one I've ever done on myself was, on my arm. Right here, there's a little diamond. And I didn't cover that out with blackout when I first did it because I was like, oh, it's my first tattoo. But now I think I'm at the point that I'm just going to black out over it.
It's funny how the more tattoos you get, the less you care. When I first started, I was just like, oh man, first tattoo has to be the right thing. It has to have so much meaning. Whereas now it's just like, man, as long as it's done well and the lines are straight, it's all good. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but none of my tattoos have any meaning. I literally all just cool drawings and stuff. So yeah.
I don't think I have many with meaning. I have a lot of terrible meaning ones. I have a little freedom pigeon or a eagle tattooed on my leg that says America. That's...
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not.
Does it have a biro?
No, wait, I can't remember. I know he's wearing glasses. I don't even remember which leg it's on. That goes to show how many tattoos I have. Oh yeah, it's on the back of my leg. I can barely see it.
Dude, what's the deal? Did you get your face tattooed on your first day of tattooing? Did you at least wait till you're a week or a month in?
So this is an interesting story that I really don't talk about much because it's not smart. So everyone listening
you
to
did it yourself, didn't you?
No, I didn't. But even worse than doing it myself, I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready for a face tattoo.
How old
And
were you when
yeah,
you got your face tattooed?
I think I was 20 or 21.
So you weren't
I'm
even at the
pretty.
point where you knew tattooer was going to work out. You were still like in the,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
dude. I
guaranteed kind
was
of
still
stage.
trying to figure out what the hell I was doing at this point. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a decision to destroy my life if I don't become a tattoo artist. Um, so what I decided, I was like, you know what? I could do this myself. And then I was like, no, that's dumb. A better idea would be have my brother do it that doesn't know anything about tattooing.
What the
Um,
fuck?
yeah, dude. So that's what I did. Um, and it came out pretty good for, him not being a tattoo artist. He went through an apprenticeship for a small period of time, so he knew a little bit. Um, so he did the line work, and I was like, okay, that's good. It's there. It's a tattoo. So I let it heal, and I was like, man, he knew that it wasn't good. I knew it wasn't the best it could be. But at least I had a face tattoo, and it started a lot of conversations because it definitely looked like it was done in jail. You know, so you know,
Oh,
eventually I had one of my buddy tattoo artists fix it up, and that's why it looks like this
yeah, I was
today.
gonna say like it doesn't like I know jail tats, man. That doesn't like don't get me wrong. It's like it's no it's not gonna win any convention trophies, but it's not a jail tat either, man.
Now it was definitely fixed for sure.
Yeah, right. So when you got your face tattooed, I'm quite curious. You're saying like it started like a bunch of conversations. Like how did your life kind of change when you got your face tattooed? Like did people kind of see you differently? Um, did people not want to
Yeah.
be friends with you anymore because you look like pretty rough, or what was the
Right.
deal?
You know, at that period of time, I was just trying to like grind tattooing. I really didn't have many friends at that period of time. I was just trying to focus on myself and get to where I wanted to be. Um, so the friends, it didn't really affect me with friends, but I will say that you know, the conversations that like the kind of caliber of people that would start a conversation with me about my face tattoo wasn't necessarily the people that I wanted to start up a conversation with. I'm trying to tread lightly with this conversation, but I think everyone picks up what I'm saying. Um, so yeah, it definitely has changed. I wouldn't recommend to this day, if I could go back and just wipe out all my face tattoos, I probably would, just
Are there,
because
are there any benefits of getting your face tattooed?
not one. There's absolutely one. Besides looking cool on Instagram. That's well.
Or
um yeah, that's about the only one. And I guess people that want their face tattooed will come to a person with their face tattooed. So yeah, I maybe gained a couple of customers from, having them, but it's totally not worth it. You know? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. Just don't get your face tattooed.
what about you know, if you go to like a bar or something like that, they still serve they still serve you, or they let you in?
Yeah, man. In America there's no issues with that. Not that I've been in a bar for a very long time, being sober and everything, but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I
true,
could,
true.
if I was about that life still, I could definitely go in a bar and get messed up.
Dude, in Australia, in Queensland, you can't. So if you've got your
Really?
face or your neck tattooed, they will not let you. Especially around. Uh, I'm not sure if it was all of Queensland or if it's just like the Surfers Paradise or somewhere like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're real strict. If you got your neck, hands, or face tattooed, they won't let you in a bar or a club.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we the
Yeah.
home of the free over here.
Oh, first they take our guns and they say, "Oh, you can't come in if you got tattoos."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely won't be getting any more face tattoos. The crazy thing is they don't hurt. like, and tattoos suck, right? Like, I'm not trying to be hard or anything. They all suck. But the face, I guess you don't have many nerve endings there, and it's not that terrible. Which is crazy because, like, the only spot that could absolutely destroy your life is just painless. Like,
There you go.
sure,
So for the folks watching at home, if you're thinking about getting your first tattoo, you should get it on your
just in your
face.
face. Yeah, for sure. All in. No, definitely not. I hope, like, I hope everyone understands that was a joke.
Nah, man.
We're
Nah,
gonna
they
get so
got to
many
do it.
messages about that. Like, you destroyed my life.
Well, yeah, it's funny. This is something that's always kind of I find interesting, right? People will get their face tattooed, and you know when you're getting into. Like if you get your face tattooed, you are signing up to be like an outcast. People that complain is just like, oh, it's not like, I shouldn't be discriminated against because I have my face tattooed. It's just like,
You're like,
it's, man, like it's kind of hard to feel bad for you went out and did it,
right?
but it's like,
Yeah.
I forget, I can't remember, it was like Dave Chappelle or something like that, where he's talking about like stereotypes. It's like, man, if you're
Right.
walking down like a bad neighborhood and then, like a bunch of people that, look kind of scary surround you, and you just, it's like, oh, well, that's a stereotype. I'm not going to push my way because, that's going to make me
Yeah.
look bad. And then, they get bashed and robbed. It's just like, well, like it's human, like survival. Like everyone's going to stereotype. It's just like, and the stereotype is, if you've got face tattoos, you're a rough dude. Like that's what it is. And
What
yeah,
AF?
I think you will not be treated the same as someone that has not their face tattooed. Like,
Oh no, for sure.
that life is gone, dude. Yeah, your life forever changed. Like that's why I don't have my face tattoos. It's just like, oh man, I'm not that guy, but as tough as Brandon. But yeah, man, it's yeah, for me, I don't have sympathy with people that are just like, man, I can't get a job because I tattooed myself. So like, well, man, you did it, like you chose to do that,
Yeah, like you didn't have a plan for your life and then just blasted your face. So,
I think, man, it's
or like the
like
people playing the tattoo artist too. Like, that's wild, man.
man, I kind of get that. Like, if someone really young who wants their face tattooed, then I feel like it's just kind of it's a dick move to do it, because as a tattoo artist, you've just seen a lot of, you kind of know they're going to regret it, and you should at least tell them.
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure. But at the same time, what's up?
I've never tattooed someone's face. I've never done. I've always refused. Sorry, people ask me, and I just refuse to do it just because it's always guys that are like from age 18 to 21. It's like, man, when I was that age, I was retarded. I didn't know I was such a different person, and like, if I would have got a bunch of I'm just going completely different how I was back then.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm the same way, and I'm still kind of, definitely not all mentally there. But if someone wants a face, I am your guy. I will destroy your life.
Unless, like, no, it's fair. Like, I get the point. Like, if they're already too far gone, like, if they're covered from head to toe, it's just like, one ball's not going to hurt. But if they're like, clean skin and they haven't got a single, drop of ink on them, it's just.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. I'll definitely tattoo someone's face without thinking anything about it. But I feel like,
what?
Oh yeah, like I love tattooing faces, man. I love it.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
No, I'm dead serious. Yeah, like I've tattooed a lot of people's faces.
Yeah, okay.
They're all like clients of mine that had plenty before, and like, like I've never just tattooed someone's face that never had anything at. Well, maybe.
Well, let me think about that.
I have tattooed quite a few faces, but yeah, I wouldn't just like try to destroy someone's life. It was already like, obviously this dude's a drug dealer, so it really doesn't matter. Like they're not going to be a doctor or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's an important thing to remember. Like, if you get your face tattooed, like, you're literally foregoing pretty much all white collar careers, like lawyer, doctor,
You don't guarantee a cop or anything.
business. Any professional kind of career. Like, it's going to be really hard to get a job with a face tattoo.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless you're like just crazy good.
it's like, just think of it like, just say if there's two people applying, I don't know, say what's it, Microsoft, right? There's two computer engineers. Who are they going to hire? They're going to hire the guy that has got the degree with no snake wrapped around his neck, or the guy with a spider web on his face and a snake wrapped around his, like, it's just
Yeah, they're gonna hire Tom or Cobra.
Cobra. Yeah.
If you found this video helpful and you're like many other artists out there first starting out, you're having issues with your line work, we have made a line work secrets guide. Inside it shows you step by step how to create perfect lines anywhere on the body. And all you have to do is click on the description below, type in your name and email, and we'll send you a free copy.
So don't get your face tattooed. That'll get it kind of moves us on to our next subject of fake skins, like the importance of using fake skins nowadays. When we first started out, there wasn't such a thing, right? Like
there were, but they sucked. Like, I think they were like really tough, and like they just felt nothing like actual human skin. Pound of Flesh started coming out towards like the end of my apprenticeship, although I was just kind of starting to get big around then. And I wasn't a huge fan of those ones. I didn't find that they worked for me, but the stuff nowadays is like way better.
Yeah. So how do you think, like, obviously we've tattooed on them now, but we didn't have them starting out. Like, where do you think you'd be at in your career if you started out with fake skins instead of just blasting in your head?
Oh man, if I had, yeah, man, it would have saved me so many years. Like, because the thing with tattooing, right, is the thing that holds most people back is like the fear of just like, man, if I screw this up, it's like my career's over. And in some cases, that's true. If you screw up a tattoo on the wrong person, you're done. So that's why obviously, it's good to tattoo your friends when you're starting out. Just a quick hint for that. But yeah, like and when I was starting out as well, I was like you. I was a bit of an introvert. I didn't have like a massive social circle. I pretty much went into monk mode for 4 years straight. I locked myself in a room when I got home. My room actually had security bars on the outside, so I kind of felt like I was, I don't know, resembled a jail cell, but it wasn't really. But yeah, it was a very, very stressful and depressing time. I just constantly drawing for 12 hours a day with no other activity. But, gotta do what you gotta do. Having fake skins, man, could have just shortened the learning curve for me so much. Like, I would have been able to practice a lot more often. I was only tattooing when I first started out, like once a week. Because that's all, like, I knew one guy that would come in and get tattooed by me. I was only allowed to tattoo one person, because my mentor was like, man, I don't want to tattoo like tons and tons of people until you kind of know what you're doing. So I was tattooing with one guy. He could only come in once a week, and it just dragged the apprenticeship on so long. Like, it took me 4 years to kind of get to the point where I wasn't an apprentice anymore. Again, that's a story for another day. For sure. The apprenticeship had a very, very interesting ending. Yes. But
worries for days about that.
Many stories.
I would say one thing that popped in my head that I'm sure we'll touch base on eventually too is, the confidence of being a tattoo artist. I've seen terrible tattoo artists make a ton of money just on their confidence alone. And that is the most wild thing ever, man. Like, I'm confident in my abilities to tattoo, but I'm like, I'm a very quiet person, unless you don't, like, you get to know me and then I open up a little bit, I'm pretty laid back, chill. Like, I'm not going to chase after someone to get a tattoo, but these cats that just sit there and talk someone into anything, and just so wild. Yeah, another
You get
subject.
it all the time, right? You'd be working in a tattoo shop and someone will come in with a tattoo that's like busted. Like it's
Yeah,
rough, man. And like, especially like you feel so if it's like, a girl just like crying, it's like it's on her arm or somewhere like super visible and just like she's just totally shattered by it. It's just like, but he was in a shop, like he was a professional tattoo artist.
they're out there.
The
Yeah.
confidence is if like a lot of people just assume just because someone works in a shop means they're good. It's like that's not the case. There's people
Not at all.
Yeah, there's people that have been working in shops for like a decade and they're still terrible. Like you've got to do your due diligence before you go to a tattoo artist because the experience that you're going to get is extremely different depending on the artist that you go to. If you go to even in the same shop, like one artist will do something completely different than the other. There's no like it's not like going to the supermarket to buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah. So if you have any red flags, just get out of there. We'll touch base on that in one coming up here soon. But I just wanted to let everyone know that little tidbit of information. Confidence is not everything when it comes to tattooing.
Although I will say though, when you feel confident and you're not like shaken and scared and you're tattooing, the quality of your work goes up by like 20% easy, just by being confident alone. For some people, that 20% just isn't enough to get them over the line. But I've seen a lot of really good artists like they just kind of have that self-doubt and they're not like super confident or whatever, and it holds them back a lot, because I remember the first time I did a tattoo, it took me probably 30 minutes just to set up. Like I would have busted sick because I was using what's the machine called? I can't remember. It was a rotary machine. And but used traditional needles, so I was putting the traditional needles through the steel tubes.
Yeah,
I would have busted like 6 needles just trying to thread it through the tube because I was just shaking so much. I was like getting sweats and I was like going pale, I was freaking out. And but then once you're a year or two in, it's just like it's like breathing.
Yeah, man, for sure. I started out on my brother, so I was like, man, I'm about to screw you up. I didn't care at all.
I think that's actually that's a really good point too. When you first start tattooing, you want to tattoo someone that's already got a few rough tattoos. You want to. If your friend's like a collector and they've got stuff, like from all over the world, leave them alone. Go for the guy that is covered in home jobs and it's just like, yeah, man, just practice on me. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's definitely a better experience, starting out, because you're like, you are going to mess up like that. You're going to mess up unless you're like some tattoo prodigy. And if that's the case, I'm hiring. But, that's just a part of the industry. You're going to mess up. So make sure you do it on people or fake skins. That goes back to what we were supposed to be talking about. Fake skins. Get yourself some and, until you're comfortable being able to pull a line, do some shading, then you could jump onto actual human clients and yourself on your leg.
I've been working a lot on Frankenskins recently. I found them to be like really good. Have you got like a particular fake skin that you like kind of prefer, or do you use Frankenskins as well, or like where are you at?
Yeah, man. So here I have them right here. So yeah, I've used pretty much every fake skin on the market and doing reviews on them and stuff. And what I've been using here recently is Frankenskins. I really like, how it feels like actual skin, how thick it is. The shape is really cool too, because it looks like it's a piece of artwork. If you hang it on your wall, put it up at your station, works really good. And yeah, this is what I've been using so far here recently, and I seem to like them a lot. There's also like, Pound of Flesh out there, but I'm not a big fan of them. Frankenkin's the way to go. I've pretty much tried everything on the market, and I seem to like these. What about you, man?
One of the other things about fake skins is that, there's no regret when like 5 years down the line if you mess up on a piece of silicone. However, if it's on your thigh or if it's anywhere else on your body, like that quality of art is stuck with you for the rest of your life, right? You can't cover it and go over it and stuff, but it's like a timestamp on your ability as an artist, whereas you can always get more fake skins,
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point. A lot of people, especially like you don't realize it when you're first starting, but when you come yourself in tattoos, they're awesome, for a while, but then, 5, 10, 15 years down the track, when you get real good, you kind of look, it's like, oh man, that's not an accurate representation of what I can actually do.
The people that kind of like stop you out in public, because I've had, transitions of that throughout my career. When I first started out, and I had all this like scratch I did on myself everywhere. I kind of got the clients that were expecting a deal, expecting for me to be, tattooing on my house, stuff like that. And like all the tattoos I have on me are kind of like a body map of, I like to put it into food. So like, when I first started, I was eating ramen, because I was broke. And then a few years in, moved that up to McDonald's. And then, so my time maps are pretty much the differences of food that I've been able to afford throughout time. Now I'm more at a Longhorn Steakhouse, which is awesome.
I think, yeah, that when I realized I'd made it, as well, I could get burritos like multiple times per week.
Yes.
There's this place in Australia called Guzman. Yeah, they did mad burritos. And, man, it's just, I don't know what it is about tattooers, but they pretty much live off takeaway food. That's definitely not a good thing, but they're kind of like when they're at work, they're constantly on the go. And then, when you come over, you're constantly drawing. It's just like there's no time for self-care or anything like that. Just
man.
Uber Eats, bring it up, I think that's actually a big deal. Like when you go from, when I started, it was, for me, my level 1 food was like, it was literally raw pasta and like the cheapest, most watered down pasta sauce I could get. And then that was it. That was my source of sustenance for an extended duration of time.
Butter noodles, man. You could go get yourself a thing of butter for like $1 back then, and then just noodles. Because, I like butter. Here in America, we eat some butter. I don't know how it's like in Australia, but yeah. And throw some salt in there, and you could sustain on that for a couple days. If you got a really nice tattoo come in, you could add a little hamburger in it. Yeah, we could make a little recipe book for apprentices on like the cheapest things
the apprentice recipe book.
Yeah, dude. Need to happen.
Oh, that's actually. Look at me write that down. It's not that bad.
Be funny. We'd probably sell, maybe 1 or 2. It's just, I look down at all my stuff now, and I am at the point of life that I could really be able to get whatever I wanted. And, I have a connection of artists that, how cool would it be for me to have a bodysuit of like Japanese traditional right now? That would be so sick, but I can't because I destroyed my pants,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could get, if you got your whole back and stuff tattooed, like if you got everywhere covered.
Yeah, everywhere.
Wow. Yeah, talking about tattoos we regret. Man, tell me about that masterpiece you got on your arm.
Yeah, the black arm. At some point of your career, you get to a point to where you're like, am I going to pay for laser, a couple $1,000 just to get some of this stuff to the point to where I could get it covered up with something super dope? Or am I going to black out my whole arm for nothing? So,
yeah,
when I break it down like that, that is why you see so many tattoo artists walking around with black arms.
Yeah, that black arm is free. If you're a tattoo artist, can confirm. I have seen tattooers get their arms blacked out and not be charged for it by other artists in the shop. See, that's a thing. The temptation to not pay for laser is real, unless you work in a shop that has laser tattoo removal.
Yeah. Even if it was free, man, I feel like that sucks bad.
Yeah. I've never had it, but from the from what I've heard people describe as, it's like flicking hot grease on your skin constantly for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm one of the dudes, if I'm making some, fried chicken and I get that little pop, that burns so bad. So I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah, just
I don't
one
like that.
drop, and it's like constant for like 15, 20 minutes. But what's it like having a blacked out arm? Is it kind of like having a face tattoo? People, or is it like another level entirely?
I have no idea. I honestly don't. I don't feel like it would affect anything because it's just a big tattoo, really. I keep telling myself I'm going to get the white out over it, but I probably never will. That's a cool idea that I have, but, would it look dope? Yeah. Would it be painful? Yeah. So it's cool the way it is. I don't feel like,
do people that have like misconceptions about you, like as a person, just because of how many tattoos you got? Like their shoes, like, oh, this guy's like, I don't know, like killed somebody or something.
Yeah, man. Like, and I try to be a nice guy, So like, yeah, it's wild. Like, just people see tattoos as such a terrible thing still, But that you can't really be mad at them, because it goes back on human instinct. Like, I don't get upset about that stuff. My kids do, they'll kind of see it if we're out in public and like, they pull their kids away from me or something. If we're standing in a line and my oldest daughter, she'll be like mean mugging them and stuff. Like, I see what you're doing, but it doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, I get it. If I was me and me walked up to me a couple years ago, I'd be like,
I shield my kids too. Yeah.
Man,
no offense, man.
Yeah, none taken. I get it.
You don't drive a van by any chance, do you?
Dude, listen. So this is way off subject, right? So I had this van back when I was an apprentice.
You literally had a van. Oh no.
Chevy Astro van. I had some meaty tires on it. Dude, I love this thing because you could do everything you could do with a truck in a van, but everything stays dry. Like, if I needed to, I could live in that thing. But then someone pulled out in front of me and I smashed into them. It was their fault, and anyway, the best idea I could have, instead of like getting rid of it, was to buy it back and just put bloody handprints all over it and just make it into a zombie van. So that's what I did.
That?
Oh, I did that. Yeah, it looked like absolute hell. It was all smashed up. I fixed it up to the point that it would run and just like you spray paint and just went all out with it. It just looked like you ran over a ton of people. And I got so many looks for it.
Did you get pulled over?
No, dude. It's so wild. I never got pulled over in this thing. Yeah, man. Like, I think that they were possibly just too afraid. Like, if I'm driving in my, truck nowadays, they see me with face tattoos and they're like, oh, he has a nice truck, probably dealing drugs. But, when I had that beat up van, they were like, man, he needs some luck. Let's just let him have this.
Yeah, man, he suffered enough.
Yeah. I do miss that van though, man. Vans are awesome. They have such a bad judgment too, because like there's few people that stole kids. It's so terrible.
Vans for everyone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so these podcasts are a thing we're going to be doing. I'm going to hop on with a few other artists out there and see some of the content we can make. If you guys have any ideas at all on stuff you want to see in the future, when it comes to ideas for podcasts and stuff, make sure you leave a comment down below so we could make stuff that you guys want to see and be able to help you guys out to the best of our ability, because that is why we're here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the comment section real soon.